Good morning, dear guests, dear members. On behalf of AmCham, I would like to welcome you to the General Assembly of the American Chamber of Commerce in the Slovak Republic. Now allow me to introduce Gabriel Galgoci, President of AmCham, who will lead us through the whole program.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear members, let me welcome you to our annual AmCham General Assembly. Our program includes an overview of AmCham activities and major achievements in the past year, report of the Board of Directors, financial report, announcement of AmCham's most supportive member companies, a brief look back, and very importantly, the announcement of the results of this year's election to the Board of Directors. We value constructive, active and open dialogue with all key stakeholders. Interaction and cooperation with government is essential for our ability to present ideas for improvement and share feedback from you, our members, as we strive to implement our mission to help our members and the Slovak economy fulfill its potential. It's a pleasure and privilege to present to you the video message made by His Excellency Eduard Heger, Prime Minister of the Slovak Republic, uniquely for AmCham and its members.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear members of American Chamber of Commerce in Slovakia, it's my honor and pleasure to address your General Assembly for the second time. We are living in the times of crisis. After financial crisis, we have faced migration crisis, followed by 2 years of COVID pandemics. It led to unprecedented measures and initiatives taken both on national and European level. Perhaps most significant of them, our ambitious recovery plan. Our recovery plan fully reflects challenges and shortcomings our economy and society is facing. We have committed ourselves to adopt tens of key reforms and investments, improving the quality of life. In return, we'll receive over 6 billion under the facility. It will help us tackle long-standing challenges in the areas of education, healthcare, and green economy. Invest in research and development and innovations and reform its management. Improve the justice system, public procurement, long-term sustainability of public finances, and the fight against money laundering. Our ambition is also to use network of Slovak talents abroad, especially from the US. As we have started to see a light at the end of a long COVID tunnel, and we were ready to breathe a new fresh air, our immediate neighbor, Ukraine, was attacked by Russia. All this has a deep impact on our society, economy, as well as business environment. But as we all know, crisis also means opportunities. Opportunities to be open to new possibilities, to be innovative, to reevaluate what is truly important to us. Ukrainians are fighting for their freedom to live like us. They are fighting for our shared values and our way of life. Russian invasion makes it crystal clear why democracy and rule of law matters. The contrast cannot be any bigger. We have to help Ukrainians, but we have to strengthen ourselves as well. Come back to what has made the West successful and attractive. Therefore, we have to show that law must be respected by all, small and big, rich and less fortunate. No one is above it, neither politicians nor people involved in dubious business activities. Corruption is a cancer and must be treated like it. Respect for rule of law is a precondition for long-term sustainable prosperity. Pandemic has also reminded us of certain limitations of globalization, and there is a growing demand on doing businesses with trusted partners with the same set of values, democracy and rule of law. it makes a perfect sense to me. We have to strengthen our transatlantic cooperation even more. That must be our strategic priority. My government will do its utmost to create a more business-friendly environment, to provide necessary infrastructure. However, it is a private initiative which is at the core of successful and prosperous society. Therefore, I count on you and wish you a successful deliberations today.
Dear friends, let me welcome our next special guest, Her Excellency Bridget and Brink, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the United States of America to the Slovak Republic. While AmCham and the US Embassy are independent organizations, we are indeed very grateful for the cooperation we have in various areas.
Dobrý den, dámy a páni. Som ráda, že som tu dnes s vami, a keď žiaľ opäť iba virtuálny. Hello, I would like to extend my warmest greetings to AmCham members across Slovakia and also extend a heartfelt welcome to our friends and staff from AmCham Ukraine who were forced to seek refuge in Slovakia by Russia's unprovoked and unjustified invasion. We stand with you and we stand with Slovakia as it stands with Ukraine. We remain heartened and inspired by the Ukrainian people fighting for their future, as well as by Slovakia's support to Ukraine and to those who have fled Russia's brutal war. Gabriel, Ronald, and the team at AmCham, thank you for inviting me to give these remarks. I am delighted to have the opportunity to once again open the AmCham General Assembly. Last year, I started my remarks with the hope that we could all go back to business as usual this year. Although we are not quite all the way there, I see progress and hope for the future. The pandemic still impacts daily life and business, but Slovakia's health workers have been up to the task. Businesses are beginning to rebound, and I remain optimistic that we will safely resume most activities very soon. It has been a long 2 years, but I appreciate the ways in which AmCham and its members adapted to allow its important work to support business to continue. Today we face the challenge of Ukraine's struggle for freedom, sovereignty, and democracy in the heart of Europe in the face of Putin's war in Ukraine. I am proud that the whole free and democratic world has united in support of Ukraine in clear condemnation of the political leadership of Russia for the senseless violence and human suffering it is caused by this brutal war. Here, I would like to highlight the important contributions of the transatlantic business community, including you, in upholding our shared Western democratic values by adopting a principled stance and taking swift measures to impose severe consequences on Russia, often at a very high cost for business. The business community is the bedrock of Slovakia's economic prosperity, as well as a stabilizing force in our democratic society. As we continue to face a multitude of economic challenges, including increasing inflation, supply chain disruptions, and uncertainty about energy supplies, it is critical that we focus on making our economies and societies more resilient and competitive. Now is the time to build back better and focus our efforts on ensuring that businesses have everything they need to succeed, while making the necessary investments to develop an innovative, green, and socially inclusive economy for the 21st century. In my conversations with the business community, I consistently hear about 3 top-line issues that Slovakia should address in order to be more successful and globally competitive. First, Slovakia needs to build a world-class education system to train and equip the business leaders of the companies of tomorrow. Second, Slovakia could improve its business climate to attract higher value investment and retain homegrown innovation and talent. Lastly, Slovakia should continue investing in strengthening public institutions and equip them with the ability to deliver high-quality public services. Achieving these three goals will enable Slovakia to retain domestic talent and attract more world-class talent from abroad, while also bolstering its democratic resilience. But achieving them will also take a lot of work by the government in partnership with all of you. I want to start by talking about education. In my conversations with business leaders around Slovakia, a recurring theme I see is a desire for reform and investment in the education system to ensure that Slovakia is producing the next generation of business leaders and innovators. In the past year, the Slovak government has made important strides in modernizing and investing in the local education and training system. Slovakia's €6.3 billion recovery and resilience plan includes educational reform and investment priorities at all levels, from preschool to university. AmCham has played an important role in refining reform proposals through consultations and policy advocacy, as well as through the work of the Business Academic Cooperation Committee and initiatives like Train the Trainer, Skills for Success, and Entrepreneurial Municipality. For us at the Embassy, ensuring world-class education is available to everyone in Slovakia is a goal we have discussed with AmCham members. We have supported projects focused on improving the educational outcomes and integration of Slovakia's marginalized Roma population. We have brought virtual guest lecturers to universities across Slovakia and have funded dozens of projects focused on promoting the development of soft skills and entrepreneurship, including a project done in partnership with AmCham Junior Achievement Slovakia. I note that this year, JS High School in Košice won the National Junior Achievement Competition for their recyclable whiteboard markers. Way to go! We are looking forward to working with AmCham and interested partners to continue these activities. The second issue is improving the business climate so Slovakia can attract more foreign investment and support local innovative firms. In the last year, U.S. firms have continued to demonstrate their strong desire to partner with and invest in innovative Slovak companies. In January, Ideanomics Mobility, a major U.S. company focused on facilitating the adoption of commercial electric vehicles, announced its investment in Innobot, a key innovative Slovak-American venture focused on research, innovation, and production of batteries for electric vehicles. Throughout the year, another Slovak-American undertaking, Takium, continued to attract significant investment into its project to develop a next-generation microchip. And American businesses continue to invest in their operations in Slovakia. For example, Johns Manville launched a €10 million recycling line for waste glass fiber last year, keeping tens of thousands of tons of waste out of our landfills each year. With active investment in further improving the local business climate and developing the Slovak startup ecosystem, we are certain more deals like these will follow. Again, I would like to highlight AmCham and its member companies for playing a critical role in promoting and advocating for improvements to Slovakia's investment climate as a respected, constructive, and professional voice. Finally, there's the question of making Slovakia an attractive place for talented people to live. It is no secret that many of the best educated Slovaks go abroad to work, and many don't come back. Slovakia is consistently among European countries with the highest proportion of students studying abroad, and while that in itself is not a problem, in fact, it's a great thing, many of these students are not returning to Slovakia. A study by AmCham member Leaf in 2018 found that Slovaks stay abroad not because of lower wages here, but because of the perception of corruption, weak schools, and a poor health care system at home. These are all areas where we have been happy to cooperate with AmCham and where I am glad to note there has been real progress over the past couple of years. It was AmCham's Rule of Law initiative that helped bring the fight against corruption to the forefront of the public debate and to top of the government's agenda. AmCham member companies are also among the leaders in advocating for data-driven, patient-centric healthcare, an area where we may be able to assist by providing U.S. know-how and experience from U.S. government experts on health technology. These experts will pass on best practices to the staff at Slovakia's new National Institute for Health Value and Technology as part of the Embassy Science Fellows program. Finally, U.S. companies in Slovakia consistently lead in promoting corporate social responsibility and in initiatives aimed at increasing the culture of inclusion and tolerance. Here I would like to highlight Whirlpool's excellent Roma hiring and training program, which was publicly recognized by Secretary of State Blinken during the annual Secretary's Award for Corporate Excellence last year. It is an example of how American businesses are not only making a positive mark on the communities in which they operate, but are also changing the business environment for the better along the way. Putin's war on Ukraine has exposed additional vulnerabilities and created new challenges in Slovakia and around the world. To shore up its own independence, it is important that Slovakia and all of Europe reduce reliance on Russian energy imports and improve energy security by diversifying away from dependence on Russia. This is an opportunity to invest in renewables. Apart from significantly reducing geopolitical risks, the latter carries the additional benefit of vastly lowering carbon emissions and helping Slovakia reach its green energy targets. As a neighboring country of Ukraine, Slovakia finds itself in the midst of a humanitarian crisis, having received more than 300,000 refugees in the first month of the war alone through its border with Ukraine. I admire how Slovaks have mobilized to help their neighbors at a time of great need. I have confidence that Slovakia will manage to find a way forward in this human tragedy, to expand the labor force and build new opportunities by integrating hardworking Ukrainians into society and the economy. Thank you to the companies who are supporting this effort. AmCham has long been a driving force to push key policy issues to the top of the government's agenda, whether through direct government advocacy, community outreach, or support for specific institutions. AmCham and AmCham companies are helping to build a more prosperous and globally competitive Slovakia. We are committed to developing partnerships between American and Slovak companies, institutions, and people so that the United States and Slovakia can thrive together. We could not do this without the support of AmCham and all of its member companies. So I want to conclude with thanking AmCham, specifically Gabrielle and Ronald, and all of AmCham's member companies and staff for the years of great work that have helped bring us to where we are today, and for all of your future efforts that will continue to help your businesses in Slovakia thrive. Your success will also be Slovakia's success. As I stated in the beginning, we stand before incredible challenges, but I am confident that by working together and keeping our values centermost in our mind, we will come out of these crises stronger and more resilient. Ďakujem.
Dear members, AmCham in Slovakia is a member of the global AmCham network. It's my pleasure and privilege to introduce our next special guest, Susan Danger, CEO of the American Chamber of Commerce to the European Union and Chair of the AmChams in Europe.
Hello from Brussels, everyone. I'm Susan Danger, Chair of the AmChams in Europe Network and the CEO of AmCham EU in Brussels, Belgium, and I'm delighted to be speaking at the AmCham Slovakia General Assembly and take this opportunity to congratulate all of you, all of the members of AmCham Slovakia, on being part of such an active and influential chamber. AmCham Slovakia is really an important member of the ACE network, which serves as the umbrella organisation for 46 American chambers of commerce from 44 countries throughout Europe and Eurasia. It's the bilateral voice of American and European companies, and AmChams in Europe works to communicate the importance of the transatlantic economy in both Europe, Eurasia, and the United States. Now, these past few years have really showed us the importance of the AmChams and the need for even greater collaboration and unity across Europe and the world. In the last 2 to 3 years, we've had the COVID crisis, we still have it, the economic crisis, and ACE spoke out on solidarity, on unity and cooperation. We've had turbulent times also in the transatlantic relationship over the last 4 years, less so in this last year. And then now in 2022 and on February 24th, we had the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. We at AmCham EU and at ACE are completely horrified by the war in Ukraine. The severity of the situation continues to require unity and solidarity across the Atlantic and with the entire international community. So we need Europe and the US to continue to play a leading role in fostering peace, prosperity, and security. Business has a role to play. It's an integral part of society, and as such has the most important role to play at these difficult times. And many companies, beyond just our memberships, are taking action to support people in Ukraine and the region, including the civilians who are fleeing, and they are helping facilitate humanitarian aid. And I know that AmCham Slovakia, led by your director, Ronald, is doing so much to help mitigate the effects of the war and to help AmCham Ukraine, our colleague and part of our AmChams network. Thank you. The war in the Ukraine also sheds a completely different light on the existing areas for European and US cooperation and brings a renewed sense of urgency. The case, for example, for a forward-looking EU-US agenda has only become stronger. It includes, for example, the defence of the rule of law, as well as supporting the digital and green transitions, just to name a few. The EU, Europe and the US should continue to aspire to setting standards globally based on their common values. But even before transatlantic policymakers had to join forces to respond to this war, we were living in a new era for the transatlantic relationship. We've consistently seen a positive flow of initiatives and developments. We saw the culmination of this at the EU-US summit last June here in Brussels. At this summit, the transatlantic partners established the Trade and Technology Council. Similarly, trade-related discussions bore their fruits as both partners agreed to stop mutual tariffs regarding the steel and aluminium dispute and the Airbus-Boeing disputes. President Biden's decision to rejoin the Paris Agreement has reinvigorated our fight against the climate emergency, which we, the business community, fully support. And in a show of strength for our global leadership, we also agreed on a global minimum corporate tax regime that will put a floor on corporate income tax competition. But we must not be complacent. Regardless of all the outstanding achievements thus far, there is a lot of work left to be done, especially in the context of the war in Ukraine. We must continue to leverage our partnerships to safeguard multilateralism by modernising the World Trade Organization and implementing the reforms needed to make the organization fit for the 21st century. We must also work towards concrete deliverables at the next Trade and Technology Council meeting in Paris in May by, for example, cooperating on artificial intelligence, semiconductors and export controls. We need to continue fighting climate change through common, sustainable policies that safeguard our future health and economy. And we must ensure that new technologies are governed based on our common basic principles: individual rights to dignity, liberty, privacy, and security. We must continue to be global leaders. And all of these challenges require strong and united transatlantic leadership. And you and your members can play a role in this, as well as all of ACE, all of that AmChams in Europe network across Europe and Eurasia. This network has helped us navigate the uncertainty of the past few years, and with new challenges now facing Europe and the world, we are perfectly placed to help keep the unity of American business in Europe. Thank you again, Ronald, for giving me this platform to address your members, and I wish all of you a productive General Assembly. Thank you and goodbye.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear AmCham members, friends and partners, it's an honor for me as the President of the American Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors to evaluate the year 2021, marking 27 years of AmCham activities in Slovakia. From a certain perspective, one of the most challenging and transformative years for AmCham since its establishment, and for sure the entire business community in Slovakia. For more than a quarter of a century, we have become a truly international chamber of commerce with American values at its core, while speaking for the wider community in Slovakia, regardless of the country of origin. Last year, AmCham proudly represented 296 American, Slovak and international companies with operation in Slovakia, from 26 countries of origin, employing more than 100,000 people in the country. We are pleased with the continued strengthening of our brand and goodwill AmCham embrace which is repeatedly acknowledged also by a representative of the Slovak government. We are honored that 27 new companies from all regions of the country decided to join AmCham family during 2021. Among other sectors, new joiners represent law firms, medical companies or business centers, and several non-government organizations as well. Once again, welcome to the community. As many of you are aware, AmCham's activities are strongly focused on policy and advocacy. AmCham continues to be a valuable representative of modern and innovative business community to many public institutions. Besides being critical when needed, it's embedded in our DNA to always complement our critical remarks with recommendation for improvements. 2021 was not only a year of adaptability and resilience to the entire community, but we also continued to develop effective relationship on both the expert and managerial levels with representatives of local, municipal, and most important, national government. Last year, AmCham, on behalf of its members, united in 13 policy and advocacy platforms, submitted more than 600 legislative comments, and ensured regular and targeted access to public stakeholders, thanks to working meetings with well about 200 relevant national and local government officials, members of parliament, and the European Union and foreign officials throughout the year. In the order to ensure better synergies of all our advocacy efforts, we continue to focus our policy and advocacy activities, which are ultimately designed to help improve Slovakia's competitiveness, into 4 major pillars, reflecting the overlap between the interests of our members and the need of the country. Throughout 2021, we are actively working on specifically issues within these pillars, which brought results and improvements to our members, as well as the entire business community. To mention just a few highlights, in 2021, AmCham managed to: rule of law continued to be more of the top of our priority. We are monitoring public processes closely and reflecting on them promptly. In intense cooperation with the Ministry of Justice, we are happy to see the new proposal on the Preventive Restructuring Acts, thanks to the very active restructuring and insolvency task force. AmCham streamlined the debate with the Office of Deputy Prime Minister Stefan Holý on recodification of the construction law, which began in spring 2021 by formulating 10 recommendations to the construction law. AmCham newly established Regional Development Committee in Košice followed its mission of driving the effort to improve regional competitiveness by meaning of supporting innovation and talent ecosystem, cultivating local business environments, and tackling existing regional challenges through cooperation effort by stakeholders in private, public, and non-profit and academic sectors. We also carried a strong voice in the drafting process of the 2022-2027 Košice Economy and Social Development Program and delivered one of the 3 modules of the Košice 2.0's Creative City on Educational Program for City Officials Initiative. In June 2021, our town hall platform gathered representatives of the city of Košice, local universities, entrepreneurs, non-profit, and experts on regional development to introduce projects accelerating the transfer of innovation to urban life, support of the knowledge economy, development of creation of new jobs in eastern Slovakia. As you may know, AmCham signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Health that was published in spring 2021. The basic precondition for better management in the Slovak healthcare system is the use of quality data that are precise, timely, accessible, and unambiguous for their target users. Partners set the scene in working hard together in the Data Health Value project, bringing the new structure of quality data to the table. We continue to play a critical role in the health data reform together with the Ministry of Health. In close cooperation with NCZE, we are building the new health data management model. Following up on the Healthy Future initiative, AmCham again brought together more than 30 relevant stakeholders in healthcare to prepare a set of solutions for systematic improvements in the healthcare sector that should not be missing in any reform plan. This expert material was communicated as a reaction to the Recovery and Resilience Facility as well. Most importantly, last year AmCham, together with its healthcare committee members, tremendously contributed to drafting new Act 363/2011 on innovative treatment, and those helped open discussion on how patients in Slovakia could live longer. After a successful transformation of AI Slovakia that AmCham Slovakia co-founded back in 2020, with the goal to be a unique platform for bringing together business community, academia and public sector in the field of artificial intelligence, we welcome the Ministry of Investment, Regional Development and Informatization officially joining the National Center of Artificial Intelligence in Slovakia in 2021. On top of the above-mentioned efforts, AmCham successfully organized 3 major content conferences focused on our priority advocacy pillars: innovation and digital trends in healthcare, the 4th annual East Innovation Conference in Košice on responsibility in business, and the 7th annual Business Service Center Forum Conference. These 3 events brought together high-level government officials with business leaders, were attended by more than 600 guests, and gained significant media attention. We are especially proud of the interest our human capital projects attract across Slovakia. Our Train the Trainer program, delivered entirely online, equipped 130 high school teachers, directors, and care counselors from across Slovakia with modern teaching methods and soft skill competencies in its 12th academic season. Accredited flagship course, Skills for Success from University to Work, which was successfully completed by 125 students at 5 universities in Bratislava, Nitra and Košice. Accredited HR Special University course for future HR professionals, which was delivered in 2021 for the second cohort of 20 university students in Bratislava. In late October, AmCham successfully wrapped up a pivotal innovative training program, Entrepreneurial Municipality, Entrepreneurial Mindset for Public Administration, for a representative of the Banská Bystrica self-governing region, delivered in close cooperation with the US Embassy in Slovakia. Its main goal was to develop their skill set for 21st century and provide continuous support on their transformative journey in accommodating a citizen-centric and employer-centric concept for public municipality services during 4 intensive days of on-site training delivered by professional coaches associated with AmCham network. This is just a brief summary of our most important advocacy achievement throughout 2021. Taking into consideration a critical game changer, the COVID-19 pandemic continued to bring into our life, we aim to continue playing an important role in improving Slovakia's competitiveness, helping our members and the whole Slovak economy to fully recover and fulfill their potential. Our policy and advocacy effort would not be possible without the active engagement of many of you. Leaders of our policy platforms, expert committees and task forces, professional trainers and policymakers. Big thank you to all of you. We'd like to invite the rest of the AmCham members to join our advocacy activities to help us be even more successful as we continue to serve on your behalf as one of the main voices of the innovative business community in Slovakia. The COVID-19 pandemic, which began in 2020, caused unprecedented changes in our personal and professional lives. As a result, 2021 was the second year in a row that we were unable to fully execute our traditional event formats: business breakfast, cocktails, workshops, and like most others, we look for alternative ways of knowledge sharing and networking. Fortunately, AmCham was able to adapt quickly and provide valuable information to its members during a difficult period, thanks to the contribution of the AmCham community. Member companies contributed with their unique know-how and expertise, and prominent public figures shared their perspective with AmCham members. As a result, a series of virtual events with exclusive content was created. In total, the year of 2021, we organized 4 in-person events, 1 executive business club, 2 cocktails, 1 full-day hybrid conference, 35 virtual events, among them 3 large in-scale virtual conferences and 32 smaller or larger events. Even we are still living these challenging times, the year 2022 so far allowed us to organize several in-person and hybrid events. We strive to have our voice heard by relevant public officials, as well as our members and other relevant stakeholders. During 2021, we actively engaged with relevant media and registered 470 appearances on TV, radio, and both print and web media throughout press releases and expert commentaries. In addition, more than 19 exclusive TV and radio interviews were conducted. By the end of 2021, we had 7,600 followers on social media platforms and gained 15% more organic followers comparing to 2021 on those numbers, and those numbers are still growing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a brief summary of a great variety of our activities in 2021. I sincerely hope that by being involved in these activities, you, our members, not only find value in being part of such a diverse and active association as AmCham Slovakia, but you also appreciate the opportunity to have a positive impact on the community in which you live and work. The adaptability and resilience you all shown in your daily business and personal dealings throughout the entire year is a great inspiration to the entire AmCham community. However, the past year we were also reminded of the fact that neither country nor company, no matter how persistent, can deal successfully with big problems like stopping the pandemic, fighting the climate changes, or most sadly these days, mitigating unprecedented consequences of war alone. Despite many complex challenges we all have to overcome in 2022, we want to remain optimistic. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel honored that I have the opportunity to serve as the President of the Board of American Chamber of Commerce in Slovakia. I believe that together with my colleagues in the board, we'll be able to successfully continue in implementation of AmCham Slovakia strategy for the benefit of our members as well as for the broader business community.
And now, after the extensive report, let us enjoy an AmCham video message. The American Chamber of Commerce in Slovakia is a service-oriented organization. Throughout the past year, AmCham Slovakia frequently showed that it is dedicated to serving its members through the support of its main pillars. Let's see what we did and what we are planning to do.
We connected, we informed, we introduced, we helped, we changed. Talking to you, our members, is what makes my job inspirational every day. Last year, we were able to meet many of you virtually, but the goal for this year is to talk to you in person, introduce you to our activities, but to listen to your wishes and needs. Thank you, our members, for being the loyal partner of AmCham Slovakia.
In AmCham, we represent well about 93% of the entire business centers community in the country. We are especially proud to have almost 40 respected international companies on board, representing the third largest sector of the Slovak economy. Right? Last year, we managed to include majority of the companies into our extraordinary business academic cooperation, making sure the teachers, directors of high schools, and career counselors have great opportunities for their personal development as well. This community is very much engaged in making sure the projects and university programs designed for university students and high school teachers are there at their availability. So last year we managed to engage more than 200 high school teachers and well about 150 university students in all of our programs. My personal motivation to do these things is simply that I believe that I can make a real, tangible difference for those people who couldn't normally afford it in their normal, regular life. And this year, we really aim to bring all the students, all the teachers, and all our professionals in the community back to physical presence while doing all this.
Hi, my name is Petra Zape, and I'm part of AmCham policy team that works very hard to improve business conditions and quality of life in Slovakia in key policy areas. Healthcare, innovations, and artificial intelligence are the topics that fall under my responsibility. Last year, we drove ambitious projects and initiatives like health data value reform, which aims to rethink the way we use the data in order to improve patients' care. This year, we're also tackling the integration of cutting-edge technologies in our Slovak healthcare system. We're doing this through a newly launched Health Innovation Hub. And in the area of artificial intelligence, thanks to AI Slovakia, we continue to play a key role in shaping AI national policies.
As I have been with AmCham for 6 months so far, I'd consider my biggest accomplishment the successful organization of the Talentism is the Future conference, which would have already happened as you are watching this, but now I'm still busy planning. My main goal for 2022 is to further develop those policy topics which are important to our members, but also those I find personally meaningful. Learning new skills every day and seeing the impact our work at AmCham has is what motivates me every day.
AmCham always strives to communicate in a visually attractive way. This year, we have introduced a newly redesigned version of Connection magazine. We believe that this upgrade was made your reading experience better. These small innovations, which improve members' experience, keeps me motivated.
Last year has been challenging for a lot of businesses, small and large. We in AmCham were not the exception. We had to deal with business impact during pandemia while focusing on mental health, well-being topics and staying safe. In 2022, we would like to shift from survival strategy to a new mode of operation, which is closer to new normal and focus on people development. I'm motivated by different aspects of work. I really like discussion by focusing on unleashing team's potential. I like to coach and drive discussion towards opening new, maybe hidden or unknown topics that matter people and team and help them go through the difficult or challenging situations, maybe easily or actively.
Even though I'm new to AmCham, being financially stable despite the still ongoing pandemic should be considered as a main accomplishment for 2021. So with the support from our members, I hope we continue in this trend of financial stability and prosperity in 2022 as well. So that being said, we are very grateful for the successful and smooth cooperation with our members and paid invoices on time as well.
So the biggest achievement of 2021 for me was to actually successfully organize all the events we planned for that year, because since I only started in June and the events was a field very new to me, because before that I did an internship in the policy team or with the policy team. I did learn the hard way, but I think it was fruitful for me for organizing good events that year and in the upcoming year 2022. And actually for 2022 my main goals, I have two goals. One of them is to organize as many good physical events as possible, because I do think that physical events and membership in AmCham share one benefit, and then is networking, and that is what I want to provide to you, our members. I want you to come to our events, feel good, enjoy some good food, enjoy some good drinks, chat with your colleagues or business partners, or make some new important connections. And another thing I want to achieve, another goal I want to achieve this year, is to successfully organize the ESG conference, which will take place on the 15th of June, which I will not only be responsible for organizing, well, logistically, or how to say it, but also content-wise. So wish me luck, and I hope to see you there.
Looking back at 2021, I am proud to say that the Chamber made it with grace. It's been a difficult year, but we managed to get through it, stabilize both in terms of membership as well as finance. We strived hard to achieve meaningful changes in several areas, namely in the area of healthcare. We pushed for data-based decision-making as well as implementing innovative treatment for our patients. In the area of construction law, we pushed for accelerating a permission process, and 8 out of our 10 proposed changes were accepted by the government office. On top of it, we also work hard to make positive contributions to the prepared preventive restructuring law, and our proposals were accepted and reflected in the legislation proposed to the Parliament. The year 2022, we started with moving to our new premises. From the 1st of February, you can find us already in Jurkovičova Tepláren, which is much closer to our members. Given the positive development of the pandemic situation, we already started with organizing social events, and I will be very glad to see you at our events live. In the policy area, we will push for meaningful reforms in the healthcare sector, and we will try to achieve meaningful changes in the area of digitalization. We plan to open a new topic of ESG and help our manufacturing members to get to the vital EU funds. The last but not least, we are trying to help our Ukrainian friends to integrate into the Slovak society by helping them to find jobs within our membership. Perhaps you are wondering what makes me tick. I'm really happy to work with my young team in this beautiful, creative environment and trying to contribute to positive changes within Slovakia.
Last year, AmCham's activities continued in Košice, focusing on connecting the main actors within the triple helix model and thus connecting the local government, the academy and the business sector. Next year, AmCham will continue and deepen this vision in Eastern Slovakia. We want to be the voice of business and industry in creating digital strategies and help achieve a better link between government strategies and the needs of our members in the manufacturing segment, considering the digitalization area. My personal motivation is to actively contribute to building a better, modern and innovative environment in the east of Slovakia for the future generations and Košice, so that they can live better and have a nice, modern for themselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now it's time to announce AmCham's most supportive members for 2021. The shared place number 10, Accenture, AbbVie, IBM, Pfizer, US Steel Košice. Number 9, CSAM. The shared 7th place, Swiss Re and Medtronic. Number 6, Johnson & Johnson. Number 5, MSD. Number 4, Deutsche Telekom IT Solutions Slovakia. Number 3, Novartis. Number 2, Microsoft Czech Republic and Slovakia. And number 1 is Roche Slovensko. Thank you very much for your precious support. This year you've been electing 9 members of the board whose terms will last for the next 2 years. In addition, AmCham Slovakia does not have term limits, so elected board members can run for re-election as they see fit. And the new members are Matej Vtáčnik, Vacuum Labs, Lydia Fulbrook, KPMG, Alena Kanabová, Accenture Slovakia, Martin Maštalír, Dell Technologies Slovakia, Michal Pinter, US Steel Košice, Christiana Serugová, PwC, Darren Wilson, Roche Slovensko, Branislav Santner, Citi, Stavros Nontigiagos, Novartis Slovakia. Congratulations to all of you. I am genuinely looking forward to cooperating with you. And now let me get together with Gabriel and we will be happy to take your questions.